Welcome to another edition of Motor Talk with Chris, WCAR 98.3.com FM. I'm going to talk about something today. Reports have leaked out or being reported, and I am getting this report by Motor Authority. They are very good at resources, and they are very good at reporting true facts. And reports are coming out about the mid-engine Corvette. And I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard this, I was not surprised. And the reason why I was not surprised is because we're talking about a General Motors product. And what does that mean when I say we're talking about a General Motors product? What I mean when we're talking about a General Motors product, General Motors in 1987, I believe it was, they honestly was the first American automaker to have a tuned engine. For individuals that had the Grand National or the GNX, I believe it probably was available on the Grand National. There were actually two. There was the Grand National, then there was the Grand National GNX. So the GNX or just the Grand National, whatever. And the Grand National was actually the first multi-port tuned car where you can literally plug your laptop up to a car and retune the engine. And I believe that because that was able to be done, General Motors felt slighted about some of the potential that was that the car was doing, and it probably, I don't know, smacked GM in the face as to say, you guys could have made this car better, but you didn't. So reports are coming out, and it's saying that, and I'm gonna read the reports as this. It's worth nothing. The 2020 Corvette will likely be one of many new cars from General Motors to use to have multi-port. They're actually going to encrypt the engine. So I was reading one of the ad libs, and I'm gonna read it from the top. Okay, so it says, after the automaker went through a bunch of trouble to bring up forward the 2020 Chevy C8 Corvette, the engine has been encrypted. It says the engine will have a unique encrypted system. They're calling it the ECU, according to reports from Muscle and Car and Trucks. The report is likely to be true, and we cannot expect anything else from GM other than the pursuit of gaining more horsepower is now difficult, if not impossible. So basically what they're saying is, if you have any thoughts about making the car faster, it is impossible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what this means. So the best example that I can give you is this. There was a term, or there is a term that we use, says there's no replacement for displacement. And what that means is, if you want fast, you must go bigger. But the problem with, if you want to go fast, you must go bigger, is those dudes out on the streets with those Honda Civics with those 1.8 engines, they're showing us that that's not always the case. Now, before you leave a bunch of comments below my video and say that if you're trying to say that with all that stuff that they put on a little 1.8 liter engine, it could beat a V8, you're wrong. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said. What I am simply saying is this. If we're just going on a drag race and we're just getting out there and we're just going to do some quarter miles, yeah, because that car is not being used in a day-to-day. It's not going to be used travel. It's not going to be going up hills, down hills. Not going to be doing all this stuff, mainly up hills, to present a problem when it comes to the need for torque. So we're talking about simply when it comes to racing. Now, the unfortunate of that is the public don't understand that. The public don't understand that you can take a little 1.8 liter engine, throw some turbos on it, change the cam in it, and now that car can beat a Dodge Viper you would not understand that it may beat that Dodge Viper once, may beat that Dodge Viper again, and maybe a third time. But just like we're seeing in the NBA, Kevin Durant pulled a hamstring, and last night, Klay Thomas, he messed his thigh and he pulled something as well. And the reason for that is when you are low in power, you tend to rev things up. And when you rev things up, you are stretching it beyond its limits. That's what happened with Kevin Durant. That's what happened with Klay Thompson last night. And that's what will ultimately happen to a 1.8 liter engine that's constantly going up against a V10 Dodge Viper. That's what's going to happen. So why is Corvette doing this? Why is General Motors doing this when it has a V8 in it? I'm going to just say this. This is just my opinion. There's no studies on this. There are no facts. But I believe that the Chevy C8 with the mid-engine, I believe that it's a compromised product right out the gate. I believe that the problems that they have with the framework that postponed its release, I believe that they are teetering on maximizing or saying to themselves, hey, look, we're going to design this thing enough so it can withstand the weight of the car, the torque, etc. If someone else gets in here and they go ahead and tweak this thing to where as though they're getting another 200 horsepower out of it, you're now compromising the integrity of the car. That's just my opinion. So just take heed to that and understand that. And if you plan on buying one, I'm sure you're going to have lots of fun with it, but just understand that the car is encrypted. You will not be able to simply hook the car up to your laptop and change the specs, the top end, anything in the engine. I appreciate you guys for checking me out for this edition of Motor Talk with Chris, WCAR 98.3.com FM. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And please like, share, and subscribe, and definitely leave your comments at the bottom. Got something you want me to talk about? Leave the comment at the bottom. Later, y'all.